Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Hocking College may be adding new associate degree programs. Good evening, I'm Abby Grisey.
And I'm Michaela Marshall. Thanks for joining us. The college's academic leadership team is now conducting feasibility studies to see if any or all of these programs would work at Hocking College. The list includes web and app development, fashion design, dental hygiene, and many more. The team is also looking to add certificates in real estate, sales, insurance, and other specialties. Launching these new programs is set to take place over a 3-year period, with the Ohio Department of Higher Education making the final decision on what is or is not added. Hocking anticipates increased enrollment and retention under the new model. Also seeking a higher membership is Ohio Solar United Neighborhoods, as they recruit people to join the Appalachian Ohio Solar Online Co-op. Participants in Athens, Hocking, Perry, and Vinton counties would be able to buy a solar panel system for their own homes, which do average around $18,000. But Director of Growth Michael Schmucker says this is a historic low for the solar power industry. That number may seem high, but according to Green Energy Ohio, Athens County ranks 4th out of 20 counties in Ohio who have solar panels on homes and businesses, with 109 installations as of June 2016. If you want to get involved or have any questions about the co-op, call Eloise Delmato at 740-974-7169.
A Vietnam-era war veteran walked out of jail and into Veterans Court today. 65-year-old Ronald Herbert faces cocaine trafficking and possession from a late September arrest. Veterans courts are new in Ohio, with only 20 statewide. Here, veterans are evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues, including PTSD, in an effort to help them receive needed treatment rather than a prison sentence. Herbert's pretrial hearing is set for January 3rd and a jury trial scheduled February 7th.
Tourism is up here in Athens County. According to a report from the Athens County Convention and Visitors Bureau, visitor spending accounted for more than $150 million in 2015. Most visitors just stay for the day, with only 21% staying overnight. The Visitors Bureau is trying to raise that number because people who stay in town overnight tend to spend about $200 more per person per day. Executive Director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Paige Alost, feels more people are coming here because of how special Athens is.
It really is something about the pace of being here and that creative spirit that exists here that really keeps people coming back.
The local food scene, the craft breweries, and Ohio's Windy 9, which is a system of motorcycle routes starting and ending in the Athens area.
And a strong cold front brought drastic weather changes to our weekend. Good evening and welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Chris Arbino. Well, on the backside of that cold front over the weekend, we saw temperatures drop from nearly 70 degrees, a beautiful day on Friday, but Saturday was down in the mid-40s, and actually some of us to our northern counties saw some snow there around Columbus and Newark. Right now outside it's about 31 degrees under clear skies with those winds out of the northwest at about 9 miles an hour. You can see those that were a little bit calmer than what they were today. Temperatures or winds out of the northwest at about 10 miles an hour. And going ahead and taking a look at our temperatures right now around the region, Athens at 31 degrees, Jackson at 31, Chillicothe at 30, a little bit cooler toward northwest at Columbus at 29, Newark at 28. And then finally, looking at your hour by hour overnight tonight, our skies will be clearing around 8 p.m. with temperatures around 29 degrees. And then they're really going to start to fall rapidly around 2 a.m. with temperatures around 24. And then Abby, looking into 6 a.m. around your start tomorrow morning, temperatures right around 22 degrees. It's going to be a very brisk and cool start tomorrow morning. You really need to bundle up if you're headed out early around 6 a.m., especially if you're going to be taking your kids out to the bus stop.
All right, thanks, Chris. As your family and 2 million other Ohioans hit the highways this Thanksgiving, you'll notice gas prices are up across the state. According to a survey from AAA, today's average gallon will cost you $2.09. That's up from $1.98 a week ago and $1.86 a year ago. Our region is still below today's national average gas price, though, which sits at $2.14. AAA is also predicting Ohio to see our highest amount of Thanksgiving travel since 2005, so make sure to plan ahead if you plan to hit the road yourself. And people up in Youngstown have already started hitting the road, although it doesn't seem that they're getting anywhere too quickly. Police reopened roads today that were closed last night after several accidents and icy conditions made for dangerous streets. They say crews had to remove about 40 cars piled up on the roads before opening them for traffic. Police say a car was rear-ended, causing several cars to slide into the crash. Officials are asking drivers to still stay off the roads if possible. Snow is not in our forecast, but we did see some hail here in Athens over the weekend. WOUB's weather forecaster Chris Arbino will have more information on that in his extended forecast later in the show. 82-year-old Dale Johnston is asking the Ohio Supreme Court for the right to sue for wrongful imprisonment. Johnston was wrongfully convicted for the murders of his stepdaughter and her fiancé in 1982, but was released in 1990. The real killer confessed in 2008, but in 2015, a new ruling said Ohio's definition of a wrongfully imprisoned person could be applied retroactively. But a Franklin County appeals court said Johnston can't sue, citing a different case. Johnston filed an appeal last week saying the court judge misapplied the law.
Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi is facing a new challenge in her bid to retain her status as House Minority Leader. Democratic Representative Tim Ryan from Ohio has decided to run against her in the race for the House's leadership. Ryan spoke on CNN's State of the Union about what he believes Democrats need to do going forward.
We need a brand as a party that says we are the party that are going to help working class people, white people, black people, brown people, gay people, straight people, improve opportunity for them to grow their wages, to have security, economic security, and we got off that message. And when we don't talk about economics, we lose elections.
Ryan says that he is willing to work with President-elect Donald Trump as long as Trump doesn't cross Democrats on some of the party's top priorities. Coming up on Newswatch, Chicago International Airport is one of the busiest airports in the country, and it almost shut down this holiday week. Hear from the people who decided to keep it running.
That story, plus 3 states saw bloodshed amongst police officers yesterday. We have the details on what prompted the violence when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
If you're planning to travel through Chicago's O'Hare Airport this week, here's some good news. Hundreds of workers planning a strike announced it won't happen until after the Thanksgiving holiday.
We respect families traveling to be together, and that is why we're holding off our strike until after the Thanksgiving holiday. Our strike will start on Tuesday after Thanksgiving, November 29th. We hope the public continue to support O'Hare Airport workers as we fight for 15 and union rights so we can afford to raise our families and celebrate the upcoming holiday season.
Non-unionized janitors, baggage handlers, cabin cleaners, and wheelchair attendants want a raise to $15 an hour, plus union rights. O'Hare is one of the busiest airports in the country, handling 77 million passengers last year.
Sunday was a bloody day for police departments in 3 states. 1 officer shot and killed in Texas, 2 more shot and wounded in Missouri, and another officer hospitalized after a shooting in Florida. There's no indication the incidents are connected. Reed Binion reports.
Most families will be celebrating the holidays. SAPD will be burying one of its own.
San Antonio Police Chief William McManus briefing the press after what authorities describe as the targeted deadly shooting of an officer Sunday.
It's everyone's worst nightmare. We never want to see anything like this happen.
Police say 50-year-old Detective Benjamin Marconi was killed in his patrol car outside police headquarters. He had just returned to his vehicle to write a ticket for a driver he pulled over when another driver pulled up behind him, got out, and approached the detective's window. The assailant then shot Marconi in the head, reached through the window, and shot a second time, then fled the scene in what police believe was a black sedan. In St. Louis, another officer shot Sunday in what authorities are calling a targeted attack. The 46-year-old sergeant ambushed when police say a vehicle pulled up next to his marked car and opened fire.
This officer was not involved in a traffic stop. This officer was not trying to pull this car over.
The officer was shot twice in the head but is expected to survive. Police say that the suspect was later killed after again shooting at officers. Also in Missouri, an officer shot in Gladstone near Kansas City, the governor asking for prayers for that officer. And in Florida, yet another shooting. The officer hospitalized after being shot during a traffic stop. The suspect taken into custody after an exchange of gunfire with police. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Thanks, Reed. The National Security Agency is being audited as 2 senior officials call for the dismissal of the man in charge. The Pentagon Inspector General Office says it's looking into the NSA's effectiveness, especially when it comes to recent security breaches. The U.S. Defense Secretary and Director of National Intelligence have asked President Obama to terminate Admiral Michael Rogers. President Obama has not publicly commented.
Israel has no history of automobile manufacture, but its world-leading high-tech sector means that Israeli companies are taking a leading role in designing the cars of the future.
For all of the differences between cars, one thing has barely changed. Now a revolution is taking shape from an Israeli startup that's reinventing the wheel. I'm riding on a bike from Softwheel. With me is CEO Daniel Barel, and we're taking the new wheels out for a spin to get a feel for them and find out what's new.
What you basically see here is a suspension system, a very, very advanced, complicated suspension system which sits inside of a wheel.
The wheel works. It fundamentally works. I've been on many different wheels. Why did the wheel need to be redesigned?
The idea of putting suspension inside of a wheel is not new. People have been trying to do it for over 200 years now.
Where did you succeed where they failed?
The biggest problem is how you centralize the hub. The vehicle, like a bike, like a car, like anything else, is connected to the wheel through the hub, right? You have a hub, spokes, and then a rim. But once you try to put suspension inside, the hub is never centered. It always sags. And once it's sagging, it's like riding an egg shape.
Softwheel tested their wheels against traditional bike wheels with spokes. This test measures how fast a wheel absorbs and dissipates a shock. Softwheel first put their wheels on wheelchairs, and that's where most of their business is today. To see what their wheels could do for bicycles, we had a competitive cyclist use them mountain biking. The wheels adapted to the rough terrain. The company says it's a smoother ride on a more durable wheel. Softwheel's next step is to put their technology in cars.
it's light years ahead of what you see in today's cars. Instead of the impact, the energy, have to travel through the wheel, all the way on through the chassis, and then absorb in the suspension in some way, here it is being absorbed within the wheel itself.
CNN is the first to see the design of this new technology. By putting the suspension in the wheel, Softwheel says they can make cars more efficient.
Because the energy is contained within the wheel, there's no reason for such a robust, complex chassis. We can simplify the chassis, we can make it less robust, and hence make it easier to produce, we can make it cost-effective, lighter, and actually better.
The wheel hasn't been reinvented in 6,000 years. Perhaps now, it's about time. Oren Lieberman, CNN, Tel Aviv.
And on Wall Street today, stocks were up across the board. Here's a look at some stocks of local interest.
Bye-bye mystery dress and hello mystery flip-flops. That story's still ahead.
Temps were well below average today, and it looks like that trend will continue in tomorrow as well. I'm also tracking the threat of some rain that may affect your travel plans for this weekend. I'll have your full Thanksgiving forecast right after this break.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Chris Arbino. Well, we've had a very wild weekend of weather here across southeast Ohio. Temperatures on Friday were around 70 degrees and we dropped sharply on Saturday. Temperatures all the way down about 45 degrees. And I've even mentioned prior to this that we had a little bit of hail across the region. It's because temperatures aloft decreased very quickly. So any precipitation that fell through that layer only fell as ice. But those of you up in Columbus and Newark, you actually saw some snow and actually a pretty good dusting of snow across the region up there. Temperatures right now in Athens still below freezing at 31 degrees under no clouds, pretty nice night outside. Our winds out of northwest at about 9 miles an hour. Those have decreased today. Winds were around 15, 16. It really felt that wind chill. During the day here, temperatures got to 40, but that wind chill barely fell out of 30 degrees. Temperatures right now across the region, you see that northwest wind really having an effect on our temperatures. Columbus at 29, Newark at 28. Cambridge at 29. You see those more northerly regions, they're still a little bit below freezing already. Ironton really not feeling the effects too bad. Their temperatures are right around 34 degrees. Let's go ahead and take a look at your almanac. Today we're at 41. You can see where we're supposed to be at our normal temperature about 53. So really a big difference. And then even a couple weeks ago we were on the opposite side of this where our temperatures were much warmer than what we should have seen this time of the year. And going ahead and taking a look at your lows, that's really the same story as well. A very, very cold 22 degrees this morning and our normal right around 34 degrees. Going ahead and taking a look at your temperatures overnight tonight. Athens is going to be chilly outside, 21 degrees. And look at up here in Columbus and even Newark, down in the teens, 18 degrees for you up there in Newark. Chillicothe, you're going to be 19 degrees as well. That northwest wind, you're really still going to start to feel those effects of that northwest wind, driving those temperatures down into the teens. So let's go ahead and take a look at your precipcast and figure out what's going on. High pressure has been dominating the region today, so not a whole lot of cloud cover outside, but you can still see the low pressure that moved through over the weekend, just wreaking havoc across parts of New York. And then going in and looking towards tomorrow, high pressure is still going to be in control, but you can start to see some rain starting to build up, and that's really what's going to affect your travel plans. You can see it moving in here on Wednesday. Really, I'm not really too concerned about heavy rain, but if you are moving out towards parts of Indiana and maybe even Chicago to visit family, you might want to adjust your travel plans accordingly. Tonight, 21 degrees, cold and clear night outside, basically what we saw tomorrow. And at the bus stop tomorrow, hopefully it's the last bus stop for the week. For most of us, temperatures around 24 degrees and a cold start. Temperatures tomorrow across the region, Athens at 45, mainly about mid-40s under partly cloudy skies for most of us. And then, as I just mentioned, for tomorrow here in Athens, 45 degrees. Staying chilly, that's really going to be the theme for the next couple of days under a sunny days. And then checking out your hour by hour, a cool start for your day tomorrow. Temperatures are right around 40 degrees at your lunch break. And looking at your 7-day forecast, rain on Wednesday and Thursday before we're back into the 50s. And we'll go ahead and send it back to Michaela.
All right, thanks, Chris. Now take a look at this. A photo of multicolored flip-flops has sparked an online debate about the colors at play. Remind you of the infamous dress? Jeremy Roth has more.
Here we go again. The internet is freaking out over this picture of a pair of flip-flops that are shaping up to be this year's mystery dress. The picture was posted to social media last week and has since incited a fierce debate. The question, are they blue and black or blue and brown? Others have suggested blue and gray and even white and gold. Really? Regardless of what you see, it's pretty clear the answer isn't just black and white.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Personally, I see black and blue, but for now, over to Blake with sports.
I've always seen black and blue, but I'm Blake Baker for sports, and after the break, we'll take you through what to watch for in tonight's Monday Night Football matchup. And we'll also recap a big Bobcat win on the hardwood and a big name getting some hardware this week. All that and more when Newswatch returns. And as always, stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back into Newswatch. I'm Blake Baker. Ohio's men's hoops got a huge W in Atlanta Friday night, topping Georgia Tech by a score of 67-61. Tony Campbell led the way for the Cats, recording 25 points and 12 rebounds en route to his first double-double of the season. With that performance, Campbell was named MAC East Player of the Week. But it wasn't just the big man who had a big impact Friday night. Jaron Simmons dished out 9 assists on the night, and after missing all his shots in the first half, Kenny Kaminsky nailed 5 three-pointers in the second half. Campbell, Simmons, and Kaminsky combined for 57 of Ohio's 67 points. Ohio will host Tennessee Tech Friday, November 25th at 7 p.m. as they look for their 4th straight win to start the season. Keeping it on the hardwood, Ohio's women tip off their 3rd game of 2016 tonight in a matchup against Northern Kentucky. This contest will be just the 2nd meeting all time between the Bobcats and Norse, the first one coming last season in a 39-point Ohio victory. The ladies are coming off a 72-55 win over UT Martin last Friday. Kiera Lampkins has been a big star for Ohio through 2 games, averaging a double-double with 16 points and 11 rebounds per game. Lampkins scored 12 against the Norse last season, and tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. in the combo. Now let's move on to Ohio's swim and dive team, who finished 3rd at the Louisville Invitational this weekend. The green and white compiled a total score of 1,081 points, and 2 Bobcats even made the cut for the NCAA tournament. The team, Corinne Van Lanen and Olivia Dillon, qualified for that tournament after placing highly in their respective events. The team's next meet starts on December 2nd at Marshall University and will be their last meet before winter break. As the swim and dive season begins, the volleyball season comes to an end. Ohio lost in the 2nd round of the MAC championship Saturday night to eventual champion Northern Illinois. The 3rd-seeded Bobcats struggled hitting Saturday as they had 26 errors on 109 total attacks. After the loss, they will graduate 2 seniors, in Mallory Salas and Brooke Coleman, who saw 91 wins, 2 MAC tournament titles, and 2 NCAA championship appearances in 4 years. What a great run for those 2. And we'll close it out with some football. On Sunday, both Cincinnati and Cleveland lost at home, falling into an even deeper hole in the AFC North Division. The Bengals fell 16-12 against the Buffalo Bills. But perhaps more alarming were the leg injuries to receiver A.J. Green and running back Giovanni Bernard. The 2 will miss games going forward, but it's not yet certain how many. The Browns were topped 24-9 by the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday. At 0-11, Cleveland has been officially eliminated from playoff contention, as if there was much hope for them anyway. And Week 11 of the NFL season closes up tonight with an interesting Monday night matchup. The Oakland Raiders and Houston Texans each lead their respective divisions and square off tonight in La Ciudad de Mexico. The contest marks the 2nd ever regular season game in Mexico City. Derek Carr and his high-powered Raiders offense are 5-0 on the road this season, but will be tested when it battles a top 5 ranked Texans defense. Kickoff is scheduled for las 8:30, 8:30, in El Estadio Azteca. Well, that's all the Spanish and sports news I have for you today. I'm Blake Baker. Hit us with the final weather, Chris.
All right, thanks, Blake. We're going to go ahead and take a look at temperatures tomorrow in Athens of 45 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Shouldn't be too bad of a day outside for most of us. And then looking here by hour for your day planner, a cool lunch break, temperatures right around 39 degrees. We'll warm up to about 43. But we finally fall down about 37 for another chilly evening across the region. And taking a look at your 7-day forecast, 52 and 53 on Wednesday and Thursday with a possibility of some rain. And I think Thursday mainly that's going to be some AM rain. So really if you have any outdoor Thanksgiving plans or whatever you're going to do, really don't let that hinder you too bad. Before we go into Friday and Saturday actually look to be very, very nice days. Temperatures around 51 and 48 degrees. Also once you notice the overnight lows are going to start to creep back into the mid-30s. So Michaela and Abby, it looks to be all in all a nice week ahead of us.
All right, thanks, Chris. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Michaela Marshall.
And I'm Abby Grisey. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Newswatch will be on break for the holiday, but will return next Monday evening at 6:30. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night and happy Thanksgiving.